Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. So if you have your beats, please use them. Otherwise, just join me in the chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And as I said, we'll chant for 3 minutes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. So I will speak for 45 minutes. I leave 15 minutes for any reflections, comments, questions, corrections. Please feel free. So starting with the topic of obstacles in the path of our devotional services, I'd like to start by saying that in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna characterizes this material world as a place of miseries. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam, temporary and full of miseries. Actually, we could say it's a place of unending miseries. Like the waves in an ocean, the miseries keep coming, one after the other, one after the other. Srimad Bhagavatam, it says, Padam Padam Jat Vipadam Natesham. This is misery, a problem, a difficulty at every step. There is no time or place in this material world when or where the miseries don't exist. The obstacles are the same way. Just like the miseries, they keep coming. It doesn't matter what we do, whether it's material activity or spiritual activity. The obstacles are there. As I said, there will never be a time or place where the obstacles, like the miseries, will not be present. But before I discuss specific obstacles in the path of our devotional service, I should point out that actually obstacles are there to purify us, to bring us closer to Krishna, if we surrender to the Lord. And if you can do that, then no obstacle in our path can stay. Because like everything else, obstacles are also servants of Krishna. They obey his command. But sometimes Krishna sends those obstacles our way to test our resolve to serve Krishna. However, if we remain determined to serve him, he actually comes to rescue us and to remove those obstacles from our path. And as a bonus, he shows us this special mercy by increasing our devotional service towards him. We should also understand that if there were no obstacles, then we could become complacent in our service to Krishna. And we may forget what a privilege it is to serve Krishna. And let me explain that. We all know how rare a human birth is. There are 8.4 million different species. And we can go through the entire cycle of one after the other before we come to human life. Prahlad Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam says, Durlabham Manusham Janma. It's very rare indeed to obtain a human body. And then if you go further, as Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 7, text 3, Manusyanam Sahastreshu Kaschit Yaratisthe, that out of thousands and thousands and thousands of human beings, hardly one understands him and comes to the platform of devotional service. And then he adds further in the same chapter 7, text 16, Chaturvidha Bhajante Ma, that 4 types of people come to him, not all types. So when we put it all together, we can understand how rare it is, not just to be a human, but to be a devotee. What a perfect good fortune it is that we have become devotees. It's a devotional service, a precious activity that can give us the highest award, this love of Krishna. And therefore, now that we have had an opportunity to get involved with devotional service, we should realize the value and do whatever we can to keep it, to stay engaged in devotional service. And therefore, it becomes important for us to understand how to deal with these obstacles. There's an entity, or personality, whatever term you want to use, called Maya, which is the external potency of Lord Krishna. And she has a very important job. And the job is to test everyone for the purity of their devotion before allowing them entry into the abode of Krishna. And she's very good at her job. You can't fool her. You cannot deceive her. And she's got these wonderful agents. Some are very alluring, like power, like position, beauty, wealth, etc. And some not so alluring, like poverty, ill health, or anarthas, like greeds, lust, anger, etc. And we'll talk more about them in a bit. And she uses her entire arsenal to create obstacles of one kind or the other in our path of devotional service. And she's very good at it. She's really good at it. Sometimes she will fool us into thinking that we are really good devotee. Look at me, what a great singer I am. I'm so good that everybody all over the world invites me. Not only that, they pay for my ticket and for my hotel accommodation and meals and everything else. And they admire me, they glorify me. Bingo, we become proud. And that pride is a real obstacle. Whether we realize that we become proud or not, once that happens, that's a real obstacle. Sometimes Krishna tests us through his Maya, sometimes tests us directly. But regardless, in either situation, if we can retain our faith in Krishna and continue to fight these obstacles while fully depending on Krishna, then he will come to our rescue. And just knowing that we can move forward in our devotional service is a real relief. And when that happens, then obstacles actually become a benefit to us, if only we know how to deal with them. Another thing we should realize is that, like miseries, obstacles are there for everyone. That's the nature of this material world. Miseries, obstacles, they will be there. And it doesn't matter who you are. We all know from Srimad Bhagavatam the miseries that Lord Krishna went through, miseries that Lord Ramchandra went through. And from Chaitanya Bhagavat by Vrindavan Das Thakur, we hear about the miseries that Lord Chaitanya went through. When Lord Chaitanya was trying to spread the Sankirtan movement, he started doing nightly chanting at the house of Srinivas. And all night, they'll get together and they'll chant Krishna's name. They chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And they do Krishna Katha. And all these people who were not devotees, they got all upset. And they started blaspheming and throwing all sorts of accusations at Lord Chaitanya and his associates. For example, they will say, oh, all night, what they're doing is they're inviting girls and having fun with them. They're bringing liquor, they're getting intoxicated. They're bringing meat and enjoying the meat. They are pretending to be Vaishnavas so they can impress us and ask for some money and fool us in the process. And they were so angry, they started saying that let's destroy them. Somebody offered to catch every one of the devotees in the house of Srinivas and tie their hands and feet together, and throw them in the Ganges. Somebody said, let's throw the whole house of Srinivas in the Ganges. One night, somebody actually brought a lot of meat and some bottles of liquor and put it outside the house of Srinivas. And early in the morning, started shouting, collecting all the villagers and showing them the meat and the liquor and saying, look, here's the proof of the debauchery of Lord Chaitanya and his associates. This is what's going on. So my point is, if they can do this to the Lord himself, who are we? Basically meaning that we should expect the obstacles to come our way. Another way is that sometimes people don't want to hear what we have to say. They don't want to hear that Krishna is supreme. They don't want to hear the benefits of chanting or performing devotional service. And we can take the example of Thakur Haridas. Once in an assembly, he was glorifying the chanting of the holy name. And he was saying that it is better to chant loudly. There was a Brahmin in the assembly who got very upset at this. He said, no, you are wrong. Chanting loudly is against the religion. It's irreligious activity. Chanting should be done in your mind, silently. Thakur Haridas tried to explain to him that when you chant loudly, the other creatures, like the insects, the animals, the trees, etc., are also able to hear the holy name. That becomes their devotional service, and therefore Krishna is pleased at helping these entities become Krishna conscious. And therefore, the benefit of chanting loudly is 100 times more than chanting in your mind. At this Brahmin became very upset. And he threatened Thakur Haridas. He said, I'm going to wait a little while. And if I don't see, or if you cannot prove the benefit of chanting loudly, I will come and personally cut your nose off. Thakur Haridas simply smiled, did not say anything. But a week later, this Brahmin's nose fell off his face because of leprosy he had developed. We also know the story of the man who sent a prostitute to disturb the chanting of Thakur Haridas. Actually, that prostitute was Maya Devi herself. So Maya was testing Thakur Haridas directly. Similarly, many other people in our life, they discourage us from performing devotional service. They tell us we are too young for this. We have too many responsibilities for the family, to the society. And they will induce us to enjoy life. They'll invite us to the parties, etc., just so we can be distracted from the devotional service. So then what to do? How to handle these obstacles? What I'll do is I'll first answer the question of how to handle these obstacles by providing some generic remedies which are applicable in all cases of obstacles. And then I've taken 6 examples of obstacles that we will discuss in some detail. So the first remedy is to keep the association of pure devotees or senior advanced devotees. By simply doing that, all obstacles are removed. As one associates with the devotees and tries to follow the instructions of the spiritual master and adopts them to his own life, the obstacles are removed. We can also remove the obstacles by taking shelter of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, etc. If we chant the Shad Goswami Ashtakam every day, it will remove the obstacles. Narottam Das Thakur, in a very famous bhajan, sang, H. Gosai Kari Charana Vandan, Sababhigna Nash Jaha, Abhishta Puran, which means that I will take the shelter of the 6 Goswamis. By doing that, all my obstacles will be removed and all my spiritual desires will be fulfilled. Another point comes from nectar of instruction, and that is enthusiasm. Enthusiasm in the service we perform for Lord Krishna. Krishna is looking at the mood in which we serve him, not so much the service itself. The actions are less important than the mood in which we serve him. A mood of enthusiasm, a mood of intense eagerness, a mood of intense desire to serve him is appreciated much more by Krishna. And therefore, when he sees this, he will remove the obstacles from our path. And finally, Lord Nrsimhadev, who appeared for the sole purpose of removing the obstacles from the path of his pure devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. And this obstacle, in this example, was actually none other than the father of the pure devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. So we sing Lord Nrsimhadev's prayers every day in the temple. And we say that, I'm trying to remember, Yato yato gami tato nrsimha. Wherever I go, I want to remember Lord Nrsimhadev. As we know, Lord Ganesha, who's also known as the remover of obstacles, gets his strength, his potency from taking shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nrsimhadev, as described in Brahma Samhita, chapter 5, text 50. So, okay, so all right, so let's discuss the 6 obstacles I was talking about. And as I said before, there are millions of obstacles. I'm sure each one of you has a whole list of obstacles that you can add to the 6 that I'm going to talk about. But for the sake of time, I'll talk about the 6. And in your questions or comments, you can mention anything that you want in terms of your own list of the obstacles. So the first obstacle I wish to talk about is called anarthas. Anarthas can be defined as unwanted things or undesirable ways of thinking and acting. Many times the anarthas are present in our heart, in our mind, without us even realizing their presence. It's things like pride, lust, envy, greed that are present in the form of these anarthas. As I was mentioning before, sometimes we become so proud of our service without even realizing. We think just being realistic. I gave the example of the singer, devotee singer, who was thinking that he's so good that he gets invited everywhere. And that pride is not appreciated by Lord Krishna. As a matter of fact, the anartha, the one anartha that Krishna likes the least, or I should say tolerates the least, is pride. There's a very famous story about Narad Muni. As we know, Narad Muni is considered the purest of all devotees. He has access to Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayan, whenever he likes. So one day he was on his way to Vaikuntha Dham, and he started thinking to himself, I'm so fortunate. I can meet the Lord, I can see the Lord face to face whenever I like. The Lord sensed a little bit of a tinge, just a little tinge of pride in Narad Muni's heart, and immediately disoriented him. So Narad Muni could not find the way to Vaikuntha Dham. He had been there so many times, but he got lost very quickly. He realized his mistake. He apologized. I'm sorry, I just realized what I have done. I realized I've become proud. As soon as he did that, he found himself in front of the Lord in a very, very humbled way, humble manner, very humble mood. He apologized one more time. We also know about the pastime of Govardhan Leela by Lord Krishna. King Indra had become too puffed up of his power and his position. And Krishna wanted to teach him a lesson. So we all know the Leela, so I will not get into the details. But the whole pastime, one of the purposes of that whole pastime was to break Indra's pride. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 26, there is actually 8 chapters series of prayers by Queen Kunti. In text 26, she says, and I'm paraphrasing, that, "Oh my Lord, you can be easily approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. Those people who are proud of their respectable parentage, their wealth, their bodily beauty, and their high education, they cannot approach you with sincere feelings." What Queen Kunti is saying here is that if we become artificially proud of our parentage, opulence, education, beauty, then we cannot develop the feeling in our heart when we chant, Krishna's name, we chant Maha Mantra, we serve Krishna. And unless the feeling is there, Krishna doesn't accept. He's bhavgrahi. He's looking for the feelings. So those of us who are proud of all this cannot develop those feelings. And that's a huge obstacle. On the other hand, those devotees who either know they possess nothing because Krishna is the owner of everything, and understand that whatever they have has been given to them as a quota to be used in the service of Krishna. So the focus always remains on the service to Krishna. Krishna says, when I show special mercy on somebody, I take everything away. On the other hand, he insists that Dhruva Maharaj accept the kingdom of the entire universe. That Prahlad Maharaj accept the kingdom of this planet Earth. And that's not for 1 or 2 years, for thousands and thousands of years. Because he knows that Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj understand that Krishna remains the proprietor of everything. And whatever they have is to be used in the service of Krishna. And we have many examples in our scriptures of devotees leaving everything they had. We know Rupa Goswami, who was the finance minister, Sanatana Goswami, who was the prime minister of a state. They gave up everything and simply in their loincloth went to a forest to serve Lord Chaitanya. Many of the examples of kings leaving their kingdom to go to a forest to serve Krishna. On the other hand, sometimes we see in our own life that some devotees who make good donation to the temple, they start demanding certain privileges because, look, I'm a big donor. What they don't understand is that Krishna is not looking at how much we donated. He's rather looking at how much we held back. There's a famous story about Srila Prabhupada getting $1 something in change from a little boy and really appreciating. And at the same time, a man came and gave a check for $1,000. And Prabhupada just took it as if it was nothing. When somebody asked him, one of his disciples, Prabhupada said that that man can give 100 times more money. But he didn't. This little boy, he gave me everything he had from his piggy bank. So that's much more appreciated than the big check. There's another anartha. It's called envy. It's also very dangerous. And you know the story of Duryodhana in Mahabharata, who destroyed his entire clan, had all his brothers killed, relatives killed, friends killed, because of his envy of the Pandavas. These anarthas are also represented by many demons in Lord Krishna's pastimes. So for example, Arishtasur represents pride. Aghasur represents envy. And there are so many others. So what to do? What's the remedy? Well, these anarthas like pride and envy, etc., they can be cleansed by chanting. And Lord Chaitanya has said, Cheto Darpan Mahajanam Bhav Mahadavag Nirvapam. That as we chant, our consciousness is purified. As the consciousness is purified, the anarthas are removed. The anarthas can also be removed by studying the scriptures, by studying the life and pastimes of our acharyas, like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, for example, I was giving you. Raghunath Das Goswami was also son of a very, very rich person. And Pundarik Vidyanidhi was actually a king. Ramanand Roy was actually a governor. But they were all devotees because they did not consider their position, their power, their wealth to be theirs. It was all to be used in the service of Krishna. Another obstacle I'm going to talk about is associating with worldly minded people. Worldly minded people are those who are only interested in sense enjoyment. There's a very famous Bollywood song, Khao Piyo Mauj Karo Mitro. It basically means eat, drink, and be merry. And that's the motto of the life of these people. They're not at all interested in Krishna consciousness. They would rather spend their time thinking about how to make more money, how to acquire more properties. They would rather watch TV, binge watching all day. They would read mundane books. They'll drink liquor, have parties, and spend their time in discussing social and political issues or topics. And these people love talking about other people, which very quickly degrades into criticizing other people. They'll meet you and they'll criticize one mutual friend. And a few days later, they'll meet that mutual friend and criticize you. All they're doing is they're downloading their contaminated consciousness into the minds of everyone we meet. Then there are people who make fun of the devotees for not enjoying themselves, for being boring, and for missing out on so much fun and doing unnecessary austerities like Ekadashi, etc. They are not interested in talking about scriptures or listening to Bhagavad Gita. On the contrary, they try to convince the devotees that they're wasting their youth. They're too young to be doing all this. That the devotional service is for old people only, or for people who have nothing better to do, have no job, etc., etc. And then some of these people are totally against the supremacy of Lord Krishna. They consider him either a mythological, which is fictitious character, or just another historical personality with some qualities, extraordinary qualities, but that's about it. They will do whatever it takes to contaminate our consciousness. So we have to be very careful of that. So what's the remedy? Well, the first remedy is to avoid the association of these people. As much as possible, we should associate only with people who are into Krishna consciousness, or at least they're innocent enough to be inclined towards Krishna consciousness and want to hear about Krishna's pastimes, etc. Lord Chaitanya actually once said that the one who gives up the association of non-devotees is a Vaishnava. The Nectar of Instruction also, Rupa Goswami, in verse 3, text 3, says, Sangatyaga, give up the association of non-devotees. Of course, I accept and I realize that living in the material world, it's almost impossible to not have any association with people who are not into devotional service. And I'm not suggesting that. Rupa Goswami actually has already answered that question by saying, Yatharaham upijita. He said, deal with these people only as much as necessary, not more. And he said that yes, they are there in your life, but deal with them, but be strong enough in your sadhana that actually you're giving them your association by influencing them and their thought process rather than being influenced by them. Which means if we keep our sadhana strong, we keep reading the scriptures every day as recommended, then we will not be influenced by them. Rather, we'll find reasons and situations where we can preach to them without sometimes them even realizing that they have been preached. When I was working, I'm retired now. When I was working, I had made a resolution in my mind that after work hours, this was sometimes extended, but anyway, after work hours, I will not associate with these people. I will not go to a bar. I will not go play golf and all those kind of things. And I was told, you will not move up the corporate ladder if you don't do all this. And basically my point was, well, Lord Krishna decides what my destiny is, not these people. And it worked out. So it can be done. Another one is over endeavoring for mundane things. Over endeavoring basically means working too hard and too long at the cost of a devotional service, without even understanding why we are working so hard, why we are working so long. I remember a friend of mine telling me that for the first 10 years of his children's life, he never saw them up. When he left for work, they were asleep. They came back from work, they had gone to sleep. What kind of life is that? Another friend of mine told me that for first few years of their marriage, he met his wife only at the airport. She was leaving, he was coming, or he was leaving, she was coming. For what? Yeah, sure, I agree that we have to endeavor for our sustenance to meet our minimum needs. No question about it. But let's not confuse our needs with our wants. There's no end of wants. And especially if we start competing with our neighbors, our relatives, then there really is no end. There's always something more that they got, therefore I have to get. And in that process, we don't realize that now we're actually trying to increase our comforts and our ego satisfaction than becoming happy. We're trading our happiness for the comforts. What good is that? Even on a mundane level. We forget that the goal of human life is to obtain love of Krishna, not to simply work hard like the washerman's donkey, who simply ferries a load of clothes from the house of the washerman to the river and back to the house, without ever understanding why he's doing that. Let's not become that donkey. We should remember always that the goal of our life is to attain love of Krishna. And for that, we have to perform devotional service purely with feelings and with full dependence on Lord Krishna. Over endeavoring simply implies lack of surrender. I got to do it myself, Krishna won't do it for me. Or I got to depend upon me, can't depend upon Krishna. Therefore, a good rule of thumb is to see if our material endeavors are interfering with our devotional service. If yes, we need to pull back. So what's the remedy for this? Remedy is to associate with the like-minded devotees who understand the concept of the quota as described in Upanishad. They've all been given a quota for miseries and happiness. Nobody can take it away. So we don't have to endeavor harder than necessary or longer than necessary. Similarly, if you continue to read the scriptures, so many stories that will firm our faith in the quota system set up by Lord Krishna. And we should improve the quality of our chanting to remove this obstacle also. Next one is lack of full faith in Krishna. But we all started with a little bit of faith. That's what brought us to the temple in the first place. That's what made us curious about Krishna consciousness. And with some devotee association, we got engaged in performing some service. But if the faith is not strong, then we can be swayed very easily. And the doubts can creep in very easily. And even when that is not happening, we're doing the service not from the heart, but from fear. The fear of breaking the injunctions of the Shastras. The fear of offending the devotees. The fear of going to hell. Or the fear of being trapped in this material world eternally. So we should increase our faith in the association of the devotees. Because until we do that, we may also have the tendency to not follow the instructions of our spiritual master, which is a real no-no. Similarly, without the full faith, we may do service, but without attachment to the service, which again will prevent us from working hard for the service of Krishna. So what's the remedy? Keep in the in the association of senior devotees who had a lot more faith than us. Read the scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, nectar of devotion, nectar of instruction, etc. to increase our faith. When we read the stories of devotees like Prahlad Maharaj, whose faith was tested in a way that we cannot even imagine being tested. But through all that, threats, actual painful situations, and finally the Father himself standing in front of him, the sword drawn, ready to kill, and asking Prahlad Maharaj to confirm his faith without Prahlad Maharaj deviating from his firm, unflinching faith that the Lord is there everywhere and that yes, the Lord will protect him. It's the stories like that that inspire us to increase our faith. When we read Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 31, where Krishna says, Kante pratijani name bhakta panashyati. It develops strong faith in us that Krishna will protect me. He'll help me to successfully execute my devotional service. He will remove the obstacles from my path. Avashya rakhi Krishna. Krishna will surely protect me. Now, finally, we should avoid reading the mundane books or books written by philosophers, different sampradayas, I guess. I don't mean the Vaishnava sampradaya, non-Vaishnava sampradayas, because they can often mislead us. Then there's offenses. Offenses are different from sins. Sins are activities against the injunctions of the Shastras. On the other hand, offenses are those activities that will take us away from our devotional service. In our age of Kali, in this age of Kali, which is known as the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, we are often offending the other devotees by criticizing them or fighting with them. This displeases Krishna a lot because devotees are very dear to Krishna. Lord Chaitanya defined the offending of a devotee with the mad elephant syndrome. You can imagine a mad elephant in a nice garden. In minutes, he will destroy every plant, every shrub, every flower garden, anything. Similarly, offending devotees destroys our creeper of devotional service. And if that devotee happens to be your guru that you're offending, then forget it. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado. Yasya aprasadat nagati kuto. You have no hope of ever attaining love of Krishna if we offend our devotee, our guru. There are also 10 offenses against the holy name, and described very nicely Srimad Bhagavatam as well as nectar of devotion. And there's 64 offenses against the deity worship, also defined very nicely in both nectar of devotion and Srimad Bhagavatam. We should be aware of them, try to avoid them. The remedy for offending a devotee is just right away, as soon as you realize you've done that, go apologize. If he's not willing to forgive, try harder. Offer to do some services for him and keep at it until he gives in. But do this sincerely, not just because it's a thing to do. And the best offenses against the holy name is to chant more with as much attentiveness as possible. Sure, we are going through the offensive stage, but if we keep trying, we'll go to the cleansing stage and finally to the pure stage. Without trying, we'll never get there. It's like a child refusing to walk because he's afraid to fall down. Then he'll never learn to walk. But if he gets up, falls down, gets up, falls down, one day he will walk. We're in the same boat. If we keep trying, one day our chanting will be pure. And when chanting is pure, all the obstacles will be removed automatically. Finally, the last obstacle I want to talk about is our mind. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, text 5, our mind is our enemy and our mind is our friend. Our mind is our friend when it develops spiritual desires. It's our enemy when it develops material desires. And one of the problems with the mind, as described by Arjun in chapter 6, text 35, is that mind is very obstinate and it's very difficult to control, harder than even the wind. And Krishna very readily agrees. He says, no doubt, you're right. Also, in chapter 3, text 41, Krishna says, lust resides in our mind, in our senses, and our intelligence. So therefore, when the senses look at a sense object, they want to enjoy, and the material desires are developed in the mind. If our consciousness is not pure, those material desires become very strong and force us to do things which are not devotional in nature. But if the consciousness is pure, then intelligence takes over the mind and tells it what's right, what's wrong, and therefore redirects the mind to spiritual desires. So therefore, what's important is to keep our consciousness pure. Similarly, desire for liberation, mystic perfection are also material desires. And they can become obstacles or are obstacles in the path of a devotional service. The trick is to keep our mind as our friend, which will happen only if our consciousness is pure. And the consciousness will be pure if we follow all the rules and regulations of our devotional service. If we keep our mind fixed onto the lotus feet of Krishna, we keep our mind always engaged in the service of Krishna. We keep chanting, we keep the association of the devotees, then that will happen. It will not give the mind an opportunity to become engaged in mundane things. So as I said, the list of the obstacles is very long. We should be aware of them and we should constantly try to eliminate them so that we can stay on the path of devotional service. It is out of great fortune and after a very long time that we got a human body, and in that human body we have an opportunity, privilege, mercy of the devotees, mercy of Lord Krishna to become a devotee or at least an aspiring devotee, an opportunity to serve the Lord. It's a privilege that we need to keep. We need to work as hard as necessary to keep this privilege. Because once it's gone, once you've left this human body, who knows when we'll come back as human being. And even if we did, who knows whether we will actually perform devotional service or not. So thank you for listening. It's 6:31. That leaves us about 14 minutes for any comments, reflections, questions. So I'll open the floor and wait for your questions. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
This is Krishna Dulal from Ottawa.
Oh,
Thank you
Haribol
so much.
Prabhu.
Haribol, thank you so much for your wonderful class and your systematic breakdown of the different obstacles that devotees may face on the path of devotional service. I was just reflecting on it. I thought it was so nice because Krishna consciousness, I mean, it's there in the title. Krishna, it's a consciousness. It's a matter of consciousness. And we have two ways of looking at things, really. We can look at things as, like there's this saying, the glass is half full or half empty, right? And so if we look at it half empty, it's like, oh, what a bummer. It's an obstacle, right? But if we look at it, well, it's half full. We have so many things going for us. And that's generally, that's, I guess, an outlook of Vaishnava. And you were alluding to this by saying enthusiasm, how that's one quality that's important. And then you started to go into the obstacles that we can kind of fix, and specifically these internal obstacles like pride, envy, and again, I think that's just so wonderful because there is actually no physical obstacle that's out there.
That's right.
No matter what physical circumstance or situation we're in, even if we don't have money, if we're poor, or if we're hungry, or if we're defamed, or whatever it is, those are actually not obstacles on the path of Krishna consciousness. And so I was just thinking that it's really nice that you say, well, the obstacles, we have complete control over those obstacles. They're obstacles within us. It's not somebody out there that's going to make a difficult time for us. It's not the sermon or the size of the church or the lack of members or anything like that. It's actually, everything is there presented so nicely and elaborately by devotees through the association of devotees from Srila Prabhupada. And so it's just a matter of taking this information of what you speak and just diving into it.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. That's a nice reflection. And really appreciate that, actually. And when I was talking about devotee association, right now, that's what we got. And just listening to your reflection makes me feel so much better and stronger inside that, devotees like you and devotees who are present there make such a difference in our life by inspiring each other and by encouraging each other, by supporting each other when we are having difficulties with these obstacles for whatever reason. We all have our strengths, we all have our weaknesses, and we have our moments of weaknesses. But when we are with the devotees, it makes such a huge difference in our life, and long-term difference, not short-term difference. So that's what devotional service is about. So thank you very much for appreciating.
It puts things into perspective, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Absolutely does. And shows us how valuable it is. What a loss it is to lose it. It reminds me of the comment that Rai Ramanand made in answer to a question by Lord Chaitanya. And he said that the most painful experience in life is separation from the devotees. And I think all of us these days can relate somewhat to that. We're all missing the in-person devotee association. We're all missing going to the temple and doing our services in association with the devotees. Sure, the virtual meetings are a nice substitute, but they're a substitute. It doesn't replace the personal touch, but it puts into light that we may not have realized it. We may even have fought with some other devotees. We may even have our unearthers, but deep within we are all realizing how valuable the devotee association is. So, Prabhu, I really appreciated your reflections. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Rupanuga Prabhu, thank you very much, first of all, for a wonderful presentation.
Thank you, Prabhu.
I want to add to that what you said, that, online Sangha is okay as a standby, but we really miss, we talk about having kirtan and dancing.
Yes.
Inspiring. Actually, kirtan is very much part of our devotional service.
Mm-hmm.
That's very important tool for us to, keep that enthusiasm.
Yes.
Prabhupada introduced kirtan as he gave very much importance. In fact, very early days also, even before devotees understood, he sent them out on streets and Kirtan.
Yes.
Kirtan party, because no books, nothing was
Yes.
there.
That's right.
So he wanted to give Harinam to everybody. So that is, as we know, the three things Prabhupada very much wanted to distribute: the wisdom, Harinam, as well as Prasad.
Yes.
So he was handling any opportunity, he was trying to benefit someone else. That is compassion
That's right.
of a pure devotee, devotees of the Lord. Maybe you can a little bit elaborate also about the role of gratitude, how it can be also helpful for us in facing the obstacles.
Thank you. Sure. Sure. Gratitude is another quality that Krishna appreciates very much in people. A lack of gratitude implies pride. It implies entitlement, where we take everything for granted, with absolutely no appreciation for what's been given, despite the fact they did not deserve. And that's one problem with the feeling of entitlement. I'll give a very simple example, almost to the point of being too simple. But we talk, we hear, we see, and we walk. And we run around playing, chanting, whatever. We don't, I'm going to say sometimes, or most of us, don't think about this. What a privilege it is to be able to hear, to be able to talk, to be able to see, to be able to smell, to be able to walk and dance and so on and so forth. And all you have to do is once visit a hospital where there are people who cannot see, people who cannot hear, people who cannot smell, people who cannot speak, people who cannot walk. Forget about dancing. Then only it strikes to us that it's not a right, it's not an entitlement. It's a privilege that's been given to us simply out of mercy by the Lord. He's not obliged to give us all this. He's doing this out of his mercy. And his expectation is that we will use these facilities, these senses, in his service. Rupa Goswami defines devotional service as Rishikesh Sevanam Bhakti Uchite. It describes that the engagement of our senses in the service of the master of the senses, Lord Krishna, is devotional service. So he has given us these eyes and ears and nose and tongue and hands and feet and all those kind of things to be engaged in the service of Krishna. We talk about King Ambrish, who engaged all his 10 senses in the service of Krishna as a topmost devotee. But when we start taking this for granted and feel entitled, then we feel no gratitude towards Krishna. And in the lack of gratitude, we cannot serve. How can you serve when you feel no gratitude? How can you serve when you feel no obligation? How can you serve when you have no feelings for what the other person is to you, has done for you, is willing to do for you? Krishna goes so much out of his way to help us. Not just incarnations, not just scriptures. I just want to take one example of his incarnation of Archa Vigraha, the deity form. Those of you who have been to India will know that there's a temple in every corner of every city and village in India. A lot of these temples, there's a deity there, but nobody's serving them. So through the rain, through the winter, through the summer, Krishna in his deity form just simply standing there, waiting for somebody to come take his darshan. is willing, even in those situations, to protect us, to deliver us, to help us. How much more merciful can he be? But we don't recognize that out of lack of gratitude. So gratitude is one of the key ingredients in our devotional service if we want to make progress. Without that feeling of gratitude, we don't want to serve. We don't want to develop feelings for Krishna. We're simply taking everything for granted, feeling entitled for everything we have without any recognition for Krishna's mercy in that situation. And how can we serve? Is that okay, Prabhu?
Wonderful, wonderful clarification. How its relevance, brought out. In fact, if you started feeling gratitude to begin with, I think we will definitely be enthusiastic, in devotional service. I think,
Yes.
I think that should very much reflect on that. Very, very important point to reflect every day. Yeah.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And that will also make us not so selfish. That's the other thing. We are so selfish that even if we serve Krishna, as soon as whatever we desired, whatever the material desire was, it is fulfilled, many of us just walk away from Krishna. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. Until the next time there's a demand or trouble.
Right. That is why I think we get guidance from Acharyas like Rupa Goswami, what is actually true devotional service versus mixed devotional service.
Exactly.
And, I think so. As I said, Krishna made so much arrangement for us, really.
Just goes out of his way.
Really out of his way. Say, for example, I never thought I would meet devotees when I came abroad.
Yes, neither
I
did
never
I.
thought. And in fact, I think my whole success coming up to North America is not so much finding, studying and higher studies and finding a good job. It's actually coming across as devotees and getting to know Srila Prabhupada and to know about Sri Mahaprabhu.
So true.
That is as the greatest gift Krishna has given us.
Greatest
himself.
gift.
He has given us himself through Mahaprabhu.
That's right. And so easily available, if only we can fix our mind on it.
But again, Prabhu, this all happens when you get the association of devotees. Otherwise, there is a chance. You don't have any chance at all to get devotees.
It's by the mercy of the Lord you get association of the devotees. And with the mercy of the devotees you get the Lord. So it's so tightly bound together, and that's why, we have to simply pray for that devotee association. We have to have this intense desire to serve the Lord and his devotees. We have to develop those feelings of humility. We have to develop that understanding that this material world is a useless place, nothing but misery is here, that we need to get out. Until we have all those things, it's very hard for us to remove the obstacles and become devotee. Fortunately, it's very scientific and it's very disciplined. And scientific simply means that if you do that process, the results are guaranteed. That's what science means. Repeat the process as described, guaranteed results are there. If you take 2 part hydrogen, 1 part oxygen, and then given pressure, you're guaranteed water drops. You'll never get something else. You won't get a samosa, you won't get dalmot, you get water. Every time. Similarly, as opposed to, for example, parenting, where the same process doesn't always work. The same thing, same process with 2 children, they each turn out to be totally different from each other. That's why it's called art of parenting. But this is science of devotional service. The process is described and the results are guaranteed if you follow the process as is.
This is so true, Prabhu.
Yes.
It's so true. I think every devotee has some experience of it. That's why they are continuing on the path of devotional service. Krishna immediately reciprocates. Very incredibly, in fact, very often incredibly.
Yeah.
So that keeps us going in devotional service. We don't want to lose that opportunity of
Exactly. Exactly. How much time it takes is up to us.
Right.
That's something we have in our control. Outside of that, it's all guaranteed. It's all Krishna's mercy. You just have to try. All he's saying is just try. Like he's willing to forgive all our offenses. He's willing to forgive our defects. He's willing to forgive our issues, our challenges. He's willing to forgive everything. I just take a very simple example. We go to the temple, and sometimes some of us feel we're doing Krishna a favor. Sometimes we feel we're doing the temple authorities a favor. Sometimes we feel we're doing other devotees a favor by going there. What we don't realize is that the number of defects we have, the inefficiencies we have, the incompetence we have, the number of mistakes we make in serving Krishna. If we were doing those kind of things in our mundane professional job, we will be fired within 30 minutes of coming in. But Krishna forgives us every time. He says, it's okay, keep coming back. It's okay, you made more mistakes, come back. It's okay, you made more offenses, come back. He keeps forgiving us and giving us a chance to come back again and again and again. Nobody else, certainly not anybody in the mundane world, will do that for us. Let us recognize that. Let us recognize Krishna's mercy. Let us recognize Krishna's tolerance. Let us recognize Krishna's magnificence in letting us come to serve him. It's a privilege he has given us. Let's not misuse this privilege. And let's not ever forget, it's a privilege. It's not a right. We cannot demand to serve. We have to be allowed to serve. Krishna does that simply out of his mercy.
Wonderful. Very nice conclusion to this session. Should anyone have any other thought, maybe we have another minute before we could conclude.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Nitya Tripta Devi Dasi here from Toronto.
Oh, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, what a wonderful class. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So the question is, how to self-discipline ourselves. Usually we're staying at home and it's so hard to, discipline everything. Usually what happens, you go to bed so late and you wake up late and your sadhana gets disturbed. And then, there are anger issues and everybody's staying at home all together. It becomes really difficult. How do you self-discipline? How to control your anger and how to, and how to manage everything, in this situation?
Excellent question, a very practical question.
Thank you.
Because we're all going through the same things to different degrees, I agree, but we're all going through the same things. And what I've found is that if we change our mindset a little bit, if instead of looking at this as the challenge in our life, we start looking at it as an opportunity given to us by the mercy of the Lord to serve him even more. All the time that we are saving in the commute, all the time we are saving in, maybe some of us don't have that work, towards becoming engaged in the service of Krishna. Yes, we cannot go to the temple, but we can have the sanghas, the virtual sanghas, which are almost, not quite, but almost as effective. If we keep our mind continuously thinking about, so what can I do that I have not been able to do all this time because I've been busy with this, this, and this. Now Krishna has given us the time. Anger comes from frustration of not being able to do what I want to do or achieve what I want to achieve. But if that is converted to not exclusively, but almost exclusively to how can I serve Krishna better, then you will find that the anger doesn't come. Because now you're more willing to accept that with all that you're seeing everywhere around you, you become even more convinced that whatever is happening is by Krishna's desire. So let me accept it, as opposed to get angry or frustrated with the situation. The more we can help our mind become engaged in service, the more relaxed we will feel, the more enthusiastic we will feel, the more at peace we will feel. And then all those feelings of anger, etc., don't rise as much as they could otherwise. So let's start looking at what more can we do in the extra time we have. Let's re-evaluate our priorities these days. Let's review the list of to-dos. Let's look at things that we have wanted to do for a long time, but have not been able to do. I'll give you one very simple example, and I hope I don't sound like I'm bragging. There's a book called Chaitanya Bhagavat. It's in Bengali. The last time I read this book was maybe 10 years ago. It's a wonderful, wonderful book, and Bengali is such a sweet language. There's no substitute. When you translate it into English, you lose everything. For 10 years, I've been wanting to reread it. I haven't had time. But this is my time. Now I'm reading one chapter every day from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. And that's my point. That let's figure out how we can make better use of the time we have, given by the mercy of Krishna in the name of COVID. COVID is Govinda's mercy. If we have that motto in our life, I think you'll find that all the issues that you're talking about will go away. I hope I'm answering your question. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhuji. So much clarity. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Guru Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, devotees. I think we have taken almost 10 more minutes of Prabhu's time. So on behalf of our congregation, as well as other devotees who have joined us in this Sunday Sangha, I want to thank you so very much for readily accepting our invitation and also making a very inspiring and lecture we will remember. So especially when we face obstacles. So I think we are now better equipped actually to deal with. Actually, the last question you answered, that mindset. How do we approach? I think you already given many, many points in this. So hopefully we'll go through this once in a while and then make full use of all the suggestions you have provided. Once again, thank you on behalf of all of us, and also on my personal behalf. Once again, we hope to, very soon have your personal association. We pray that happens. So yes. Maybe a couple of months, that's okay. But I think everything comes to, things change here for sure.
Yes, everywhere.
Not going to last too long. Maybe we cannot exactly say when. Maybe 2 months, maybe 4 months, who knows? Yeah, but it will change. We'll look forward to that.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for engaging me in this service. We appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for giving me opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Please accept humble obeisances to all the devotees. Pancha kalpatarbhyascha kripa sindhubhyevcha patitanam pavanebhyo
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Okay, devotees, I think we will not have much time for Kirtan. So we will conclude Sunday Sangha. One more opportunity for us to look at Shri Gaunitai. So let's offer our humble obeisance to Shri Gaunitai and Srila Prabhupada. And we meet you again.
Guru Prasad Prabhu, thank you for putting this together. It was very inspiring.
Prabhuji, it's all Krishna's grace.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you again. Hare Krishna.